From R.D. Smothers Wealth Management, this is The Retirement.
When you retire, if you want an exciting life, you need a boring investment strategy.
Matters.
If you enter into retirement without a plan for income, you're not retired, you're simply unemployed.
Podcast.
Hey, this is your host, Dale Smothers, and you're listening to the Retirement Matters Podcast. My hope is that you will find the information you need in every single show on how to do one of the three things: either saving more money more efficiently, planning better for your future where you can live in retirement worry-free, or my favorite, how you can live a happy and fulfilled life in this life you have been given. We know that your time is valuable and we appreciate you spending it listening to this episode of the Retirement Matters Podcast. Okay, get ready for an episode like we've not done in a long time. This episode is going to really go a little bit deeper into the industry and what it means to be a financial advisor. Also, I want to be very clear here on disclosures for compliance sake. We are quoting some fixed products that at the time of the quote were paying right at 6% for a 5-year product. You'll hear us mention that inside of this, and whether or not that's still the case may or may not be the case. It depends really on when you're listening to this podcast, but the time that we are quoting that is May the 9th, 2026, and as interest rates move, those products move, so it's very time sensitive. Another thing you're going to hear us talk about is what it means to be a financial advisor, and we go into a little bit of a deeper dive on the three types of financial advisors. You've got an insurance advisor, you've got a broker, and you've got a true fiduciary financial advisor. They're different, and it's not to say one is better than the other. It's just that you need to know who you're working with and what they are capable of doing for you and what phase of retirement they may specialize in. And then I would tell you, as we go into this annuity section, if you're a client of RDS Wealth, I know we've got a lot of clients that listen to our podcast. If you're a client of RDS Wealth, I can assure you right now that the annuities that we use, if you have one perhaps in your portfolio, are very much in the favor of the client and not the insurance company or not, let's say, the agent that solicits those. We get paid a very transparent fee on those annuities, and those annuities most of the time are built for growth with no annual fees. This is phenomenal for the client, and it gives us upside potential with very little downside risk. And it's only a portion of most of the clients' portfolios that we serve. For that reason, we don't discredit the ability for an annuity to be right for a portfolio. However, there are a lot of bad annuities out there, and we have seen far too many annuities sold to clients that just simply don't need them. There's no other way to say that. They either don't need the annuity that they've got. Maybe the better one would have been out there if they had an unbiased advisor or insurance agent. And then, or perhaps maybe we get to reviewing their portfolio and realize they don't need an annuity at all. We wonder why the case was that they were able to be sold this annuity in the first place. A lot of it boils down to commissions. Now, I'm not going into great detail of that on the podcast, but you've got to be careful in knowing how your advisor is paid. And if you have questions about that at RDS Wealth, we simply tell you. It's very clear, very transparent, and we pride ourselves on that. This is why we can do a podcast like this, because we are going to expose the good, the bad, and the ugly of the industry. We can do this because we know that we are always sitting on the same side of the table as the client, looking out for their best interest and shopping unbiasedly for any investment product or investment vehicle that we choose to utilize. This is what we do here at RDS Wealth, and we would love an opportunity to do it for you if you find yourself navigating through retirement, closer to the retirement income phase of this retirement journey. All right, with all of that out of the way, we are going to go to the show, and I hope that you do enjoy listening to this episode. I hope it's very educational. I hope it exposes some things to you that you weren't aware of about the industry. And I hope that it opens your eyes to what you need to be doing as you start to maybe shop for a financial advisor. And again, we're here to help if you need a second set of eyes or an opinion from a fiduciary financial planner. All right, and with that, let's get to today's episode of the Retirement Matters podcast. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well and you're ready to start discussing all things retirement matters this morning. We're going to look at a few areas of the financial planning industry, and we're going to understand why not all financial advisors are created equal. And my true intention with this show is to help you understand kind of behind the scenes what this financial industry is designed to do. And that is theoretically to make you part with your money, making you believe that someone else can do it better than you can. So you need to be very careful in understanding who you're working with before you make that decision. And we're going to go into a lot of this in detail. And one of the things we're going to cover is annuities, the ins and outs and the things that you should be aware of before you jump into an annuity. So you're not going to want to miss that for sure. This is going to be an entire show of public safety announcements. I want you to think of it that way. And the first one I want to discuss is those who are saving money right now, perhaps in CDs. You may have found that the CD market is moving against you. You've got CDs that are maturing right now, maybe paying 4 or 5%. You're going looking for other alternatives, and you just can't find that type of yield. We understand that pain, and we are here to help. We actually have some specific investment instruments that allow you to lock in gains every single year that are guaranteed. And right now, for instance, I'm just going to take a quick look at the marketplace. We can lock in a 5%. Now, I'm talking to you on the 9th of May, 2026. We can lock in right now 5 years at 6% interest, which is phenomenal. And you can go out longer, you can come shorter. That's just the sweet spot for these types of vehicles that just set and grow money with guarantees wrapped around them. That's a phenomenal place for savers. And a lot of times savers just don't even know that they're out there as alternatives. We go nationwide. I'm not against community banks. I like community banks, but we can go nationwide and find the best investment product for the clients we serve. And with that, being able to get you guaranteed returns for your safety that are much better than perhaps what we're finding at community banks right now. I'm not against community banks. Don't get me wrong. We have for years preached that community banks are where you should maybe save your safe money. But with rates as low as they are, if you're looking for higher yields on some of that money, we can look at a national picture for you and go out and find the best possible rates for you right now. And you would be surprised at what those are. If you want a quote on that or want some information, feel free to navigate to our website, rdswealth.com, and schedule a quick call. Or just simply go to our Facebook page. We've got advertisement right now on our Facebook page for a 5-year fixed at 6% rate of return. That is pretty phenomenal, 6% a year. And when that compounds, it can compound with significant tax advantages and not have to pay those taxes as you go. So all of this really starts to add up, and you have a very nice yield in that. And the reason I'm taking 2 or 3 minutes here on this radio show to do this is because it's very important for savers to find the right places to park that money right now, and you don't want to make a bad decision not knowing that there are other alternatives. That's all we're doing here today. 270-600-PLAN if you want some more information on how those work and what we can do for you. Our team is willing to sit down with you and have a discussion around what it may do in a benefit for you from comparing to maybe where you are now. So all of that really behind us. I want to move to our pause for positivity now, and I want to address something that came to us from the leadership. The leadership team got together here at RDS Wealth, and we were discussing what we call KPIs. And the pause for positivity today, I want to ask you a very simple question. What KPIs are needed for your life, for your accomplishments that you have desired all these years perhaps? What KPIs do you need to put in front of you, and what moves are you making to achieve them? Now, many of you may not have a clue what KPI stands for. So here it is. It's a key performance indicator. And as a leadership team, once a year, we get together and we start planning for the business of RDS Wealth and how we will grow our business in service, how we will grow our business in client experience, how we will grow our business in client relations, how we will grow our business in marketing, and how we will grow our business in management of assets. This is the primary objective of our leadership team. We have directors who get together on an annual basis and set what's called KPIs, key performance indicators for the year. Now, along the way, every quarter we're meeting and we are discussing how we measure against those KPIs. We have annual goals in our KPIs, and then we have quarterly metrics that we have to hit every single quarter. And we're making adjustments if we miss something that's important to us. And so, for instance, we might set a goal to have a certain number of client relations events where we get together with our existing clients and we get to just spend time with them living happy. And there are goals that we have to be able to achieve in the relations team to be able to make that happen. So there might be certain numbers of phone calls to vendors to find the locations, or a certain number of client discussions where we understand the likes of our clients that we work with so we can customize these experiences to our clients. There are certain KPIs in every division. And what we have built is this metric system that keeps us on track towards a goal. And we move it just a little bit every quarter. And when you look years in the future, and now you're looking back at how far you've come, just by doing a little bit better every single day, you have actually moved a whole lot closer to your overall goal. So our firm has a 10-year goal. And I'd be happy to share that with you in a different conversation. There's too much to unpack here in the small time that we have together. But in that 10-year goal, we have it broken down into annual goals, and then we have it broken down into quarterly goals. And to hit our quarterly goals, we know what we need to do each month. And this is what I want to bring to you for the Pause for Positivity, because there is so much more to retiring and so much more to living happy than just making sure you've got enough money in the bank account. Whether that's income or assets in your 401k, there is so much more than just money. You have to have a purpose, a reason for living, a reason to get up in the morning. And if you're not careful, we'll lose track of that because of the grind. And I know it's easy to do. In the business side, it's easy to just get up and do the same thing every day. Make sure you do your work and be done. If you're not actually looking at a place that you want to be in the future and making small, advanced moves towards that, you'll never arrive at your destination. I've heard it said like this: no one ever drifts towards success. They always drift in the opposite direction of success. You must intentionally move towards success. And whatever success is for you, whatever you've defined that to be, I want to ask you this question. Did you move closer to that this week? Did you move yourself closer to that this quarter? And a quarter, for those who may not be familiar, is 3 months in succession. Did you move yourself closer to that between January till now in May of 2026? I want you to think about the year almost halfway through. Have you moved yourself towards success? And I'm not talking about your New Year's resolution, to lose weight, or maybe that's your goal. Maybe that is your goal, and let's not discount that. But something that would give you purpose in life. Do you have that? And if you do, what do you need to do to become closer to that? Set key performance indicators to know whether or not you're on track, and measure yourself against those, and you'll find yourself getting closer to your definition of success each and every week. This is the Pause for Positivity, and it's a little bit of advice that I'll give you in finding your own success. And I'm using air quotes. Whatever success is to you, whatever goal is out there, make it big, make it scary, and then work towards it. Scary meaning it's so big that if I got there, I would be shocked that I actually accomplished it, because you want to aim high. And even if you miss, you still find yourself much higher than you are now. This is the Pause for Positivity for the week. We're going into a quick break. And when we come back, you are not going to want to miss this piece of the show. We're going to discuss why you must understand what it means when someone says they are a quote unquote financial advisor, and why you need to understand the differences between a financial advisor and a actual financial planner who is equipped to help navigate through retirement. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with more Retirement Matters right after this.
You're listening to the Retirement Matters Show with Dale Smothers. Dale is the founder and president of R.D. Smothers Wealth Management. We specialize in building retirement plans that allow you to walk away from the worry of running out of money. If you'd like to chat with a member of our team, you can do so absolutely free by calling 270-600-PLAN. That's 270-600-PLAN. Visit us online at rdswealth.com and be sure to sign up for our free weekly newsletter.
All right, welcome back to the show. I want to go into this with an educational mindset. I am not here to try and tell you that RDS Wealth is the best financial advisor for all things and all places for all people. That is not my ambition here. My ambition truly is to talk to you about where you may find yourself and which financial advisor is capable of helping you in that particular part of your journey. You've heard us mention many times before that retirees, whether you are just starting or have already entered into retirement, you're going to have went through two very unique phases in your retirement journey. You're going to go through growth phase where you're working towards the date of retirement. And then you're going to go into what we call income phase, which is the day after you've walked away from work and now the income in retirement is all on you. When that happens, you've got some significant decisions to make that you've never made before. For instance, in the income side of things, you don't have income anymore. So where are you getting that income from? How will you pull Social Security? What retirement investments will you pull from? What other sources of income can you turn on at this point in time, and how long will those last? How will inflation impact your cost of living and the amount of money that you get every single month? All of this goes into your income plan. And then you've got to move to your investment plan, and it's got to be able to support that income plan. And you've got to make sure your tax plan is squared away so that you're not paying more to the IRS than is absolutely necessary. And the instant you leave work, you typically are going to have to look for a health care plan of some kind. What kind of health care strategy do you have? How will you pay for things? Is it Medicare? Perhaps it is. And if it is, how do you navigate Medicare? The complexities of Medicare alone are mind-boggling, much less trying to do this on your own and understand all the other things that we've already mentioned. Long-term care becomes an issue that we have to address, and how will we pay for that when we get into our 90s and need someone to help assist us at home? Or maybe it's into our 100s by the time we get there. What about legacy? How do we protect that and make sure it gets to the right people? That's where a legacy plan comes in. Knowing that that money that is left behind is going to go to the loved ones that you love so much and the organizations or institutions that you care about. Doing this tax efficiently now as opposed to waiting until the time comes. And you may think, well, I got a will and that's all you need. Well, maybe not. All that needs to be inside of the plan. So all of this now in the income phase becoming very complex, and the decisions that you must face, you may think, I need a financial advisor. And you may go out looking for a financial advisor. And I want to tell you very, very openly, and this is a candid statement here, the title of financial advisor is a very, very easy title to achieve. As a matter of fact, you simply have to pass a life insurance exam for a lot of companies to call you a financial advisor. So you may have just a simple life insurance salesperson who is holding themselves out as a financial advisor because they can help with a part of your finances, the risk part of your finances, the insurance, the life insurance, the health insurance, maybe it's property and casualty insurance, whatever it may be. And unfortunately, they have absolutely no investment advice, experience, or authority. This is very dangerous. We see this a lot, especially in smaller communities that we serve. You know, even in the Campbellsville area, we see this a lot where people are talking about, come help, we'll help you plan for retirement. And you look at their credentials and you think, wow, that all they have is a life insurance license? This is bizarre to me. And it's perplexing. It's almost concerning. But, you know, the state regulations allow it. And that is what it is. But I don't think that I would want my mother or my grandmother going to an insurance salesperson to discuss retirement planning when all they can offer me is insurance-based investments. And we're using air quotes very, very loosely here to say investments. The reality is most of those insurance advisors are simply out to get a commission. That's how they make their living. and they sell you a bill of goods because they believe that it is the right way to do things. And they may truly, wholeheartedly believe that that product is going to do what they're telling you it's going to do because they've been told that it's going to do what they're telling you it's going to do without any real due diligence. They're going out to sell it. And this is where it becomes very important for you to understand that if they are positioning this in front of you and that's the only thing they're licensed to position, it may be the case that if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And you do not want to be a nail in that scenario. I hope you get my drift. So if you are looking for a financial advisor perhaps and you stumble on a true financial advisor who's licensed with the ability to solicit or sell investments, you may stumble across a different type of financial advisor, and we like to call them growth advisors, who are pretty skilled at investing your money. They may have what's called a Series 7 license, or they may have a Series 6 license. I would tell you if they have a Series 7 and only a 7, they probably have also a 66, and that's getting into the weeds. It's not necessary. But if they're operating under their Series 7 license and they're selling you securities, they're probably charging you a commission. So this is not bad for growth phase. I don't think that this is something you should run away from in growth phase. I think it's something that can probably be done more efficiently. But again, they have to make a living. So they're going to sell you the investment, and you've got to hope and pray that they're selling you the investment based off of what it will do for you, not what it will do for them. And that's something that, a lot of brokers, which is what they're actually called, a lot of investment brokers are doing, and they're doing it the right way. They're in growth mode, and they sell mutual funds. They have no desire to look at or even intention to look at your taxes. They have no desire or intention to look at your health care. They have no desire or tools to even help you with income planning. It's simply just grow money. Now, while I am very much aware that we have a lot of brokers in the area, I'm not here to say that they're bad. What I want you to know is that if you are working with a broker, you are likely being sold a product rather than advised on the types of investments that you need to make. And again, I'm painting with a very wide brush here. You need to be aware that they may be selling products that carry large commissions that sometimes you're paying out of your own money, and there are better ways. Or you need to be aware that they may be selling insurance products, because a lot of those brokers also have a life insurance license, and they may be selling you an insurance product called a variable annuity that is oftentimes laden with fees, and you've just got to make sure that those fees are appropriate for what benefit you're getting. I'm going to tell you, this is just me and you talking here candidly, most of the time, variable annuities do not benefit you as much as they charge you in fees. And so I'll just leave it with that. And I'll tell you, be very careful if you're working with a broker who is selling you products. They can rightfully be called a financial advisor. And I think most of them are doing a good job for their clients, especially in growth phase. As you enter into income phase, it's very important, however, that you find a fiduciary advisor, someone who is operating under a Series 65 or a Series 66 license, charging you advice fees rather than commissions. And if you do happen to find some sort of an insurance product that is in the portfolio, that there are no commissions paid by you, because there are alternatives out there for you to still have significant benefit with these types of investment products or savings products and not pay those fees. I'm going to tell you, we specialize in that retirement income phase, and every one of our advisors operate under their Series 66 or 65 license. You also want to look for their credentials. And so you want to find someone who is specialized either as a CFP, a chartered financial planner, or someone who has a designation in the field showing that they have a dedicated desire to learn this craft as well as possible. Myself, I have what's called an RICP, which is retirement income specialty. This retirement income certified professional designation gives me the ability to essentially discuss all things that are out there pertaining to retirement and do it with an extreme amount of understanding and knowledge. Not to mention, I've been in the industry for about 17 years, so along the way, we've seen quite a bit of things here. And our entire team together is ready to help guide you through retirement with that expertise. Now, I'm going to stop here, and I'm just going to tell you, we've only got a little bit more time, and I do have something that I want to explain to you pertaining to annuities. So we're going to take a quick break, and I've just seen far too many annuities being proposed to people that have come into our office recently that have made me a little bit concerned for the communities that we serve, because there are a lot of insurance people out there right now trying to position themselves as a financial advisor, and it's unfortunate that they are just selling annuities. And again, I'm not here to say that you don't need that annuity. I just want you to be aware that financial advisors are not equal, and the word itself means nothing, really. So be careful and know who you are working with. We're going to take a 30-second break, and we are going to discuss some of these vehicles that are positioned in front of you. And we're going to specifically talk about annuities, the A word, the nasty annuity. We're coming back with some really good information on these. So grab a pen and paper if you must, and let's get into a deep dive on annuities right after this break.
Thank you for listening to Retirement Matters, presented by R.D. Smothers Wealth Management. If you'd like to speak with us, give us a call at 270-600-PLAN. And if you enjoy the information in this show and would like to hear more, you can access previous shows by searching for the Retirement Matters podcast on the podcast platform of your choice. We also produce a weekly newsletter. Receive it free to your email inbox by signing up online at rdswealth.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. This has been a little bit of a different show, but I hope that it has been educational for you, especially if you've ever been proposed an annuity. I want to really go into the details on this. We've got about 5 minutes, and this topic is something I could talk probably a good hour on because I came from the side of the fence that proposed annuities to everyone. I got my start working as a financial advisor for an insurance company. Very large insurance company, a very well-known insurance company, and they did very good for me and for the clients that I served until the idea was that we needed to sell certain types of insurance products to be paid the same way. And so, long story short, I would tell you that there are insurance agents out there who are doing the best thing for their clients, and in full disclosure, there are insurance agents out there who are very knowledgeable in being able to position annuities in the right way. However, the vast majority of annuities are positioned with a salesman's slant that is very misleading at best. Most people who get into annuities end up finding out that they are not explained the entire thing, and they are very complicated. And so I want to go just do a real quick overview of the types of annuities you may have. First of all, there is a fixed annuity. This is the most basic style of annuity where you hand the insurance company a set of money, a piece of money, and that money is then given an interest rate. Every single year, you get the same interest rate no matter what happens in the stock market for a set period of time. And after that set period of time, let's say 2 or 3 years, you get all your money back. That's as simple as a CD. Sometimes we'll refer to those as an insurance-backed CD. Very simple. They should have no fees, if any at all. It should be for things like maybe taking income off of them or having some enhanced death benefit. But for the most part, no fees and no commissions charged on those. That should be a very simple thing for you to set up with an insurance agent. The thing is, most insurance agents don't recommend those because they don't pay very good commission. So when we are using annuities, sometimes we may actually use those types of strategies for clients because we aren't out to try and make the best commission. We're out to make the best return. And right now, there are some really incredible places in that type of annuity to put some money. However, I am not here to tell you everybody needs an annuity. Quite the opposite. Most people need to really look hard and long before putting money into an annuity. Do we use annuities as a tool? Absolutely. In the right situation for the right person, annuities make sense. But not for everybody, and certainly not this type of annuity that I'm about to discuss called a variable annuity. Variable annuities are opposite of fixed annuities. They give you really no per se guarantee. The market will go up and down, so will your account balance. The sad part of variable annuities are a lot of brokers who are securities licensed or able to sell investments will position them almost as a mutual fund. And they will tell you that it has something called a death benefit associated with it, and it does. But a lot of times those fees are so high that it makes absolutely no sense to have money in a variable annuity. There are reasons that perhaps you need variable annuities in your portfolio if you need income and there is a specific set amount of income that you must target. Maybe variable annuities are a good fix there. I'm not going to tell any individual that a certain tool in your retirement portfolio is quote unquote bad, but I am going to tell you that there are some that are better than others. And variable annuities tend to be one that is a what I would call a one-trick pony. It's for one thing, and they're far oversold. I would very much read and understand why you need this variable annuity before you go into that. Another idea is a fixed indexed annuity, which is where an insurance company basically took the benefits of the variable annuity with the fees and the guarantees of a fixed annuity and merged them together. This oftentimes will come with very low fees as well if it's structured properly. Here's the catch. Insurance agents often will recommend these based off of the commissions. And the ones who pay really good commissions often pay the client very, very low growth. So be careful with fixed index annuities, especially if you're being recommended fixed index annuities by an insurance agent. Be very careful with those. The goal here is for you to understand what tool you are using and why. If it's an annuity, please understand why you need it. Don't go into that conversation thinking that that person's trying to sell you something and that they have no idea what they're talking about. Go in with an open ear and understand what benefit it's going to give you and then make the judgment call for yourself. Clearly, if you need help, we're here to help. We're here to be a second set of eyes on any of that you need assistance on. So if you are being proposed an annuity right now and maybe you're trying to make the decision, give us a call, 270-600-PLAN. We'd be happy to take a look at it, let you know if there's a better alternative out there for you. All right, and just like that, somehow we're at the end of the show. It's crazy how time passes. I do want this to be very clear that I am here to help educate the radio listening audience. I value you and your time. I want to bring as much information to you as I can. And right now with the market at all-time highs, we are seeing annuities pitched in a fever pitch almost that I am very concerned with. And I just want to make sure that we are not locking money up for a period of time in a product that will underperform what you have been promised. And again, we can give you an unbiased review on that. And if it's the right thing to do, you can go right back to who is pitching it to you and take it out. We have the ability to find all investment products that exist in the marketplace today. We are completely unbiased in our approach towards retirement and retirement investments, and we help you with so much more along the way. We would love an opportunity to chat with you, but until we talk again, whether it's right here on this same station, educating you for your own journey as you begin to navigate yourself, or maybe it's in office at your next appointment with our team, whatever it is, when we talk again, and until we talk again, always remember, save money, plan well, and live happy in retirement. God bless.
Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This radio show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. R.D. Smothers Wealth Management is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by R.D. Smothers Wealth Management.